In the interactive multi-game demo Disc 7, which was used in stores to promote GameCube games released in 2002 and 2003, there's a playable demo of Metroid Prime based on a prototype build that presents several differences from the final game and contains very early assets within its files. For instance, among the prototype data, we can find this early title screen animation. The logo features a Chozo artifact and the text reading First-Person Adventure. The game was initially meant to be in third person, but Shigeru Miyamoto suggested switching to a first-person perspective to sidestep potential camera and aiming issues. The preliminary main menu contained in the prototype is conceptually similar to the final one, but it's much darker in terms of style and artistic direction.
In the final version, in a few rooms of the Fontrana drifts, such as the gravity chamber, rare specimens of a mysterious fish species can be found frozen in ice. Known as chomper fish, these aquatic life forms have a complete animation character set in the game data. They were supposed to appear in the Chozo ruins, inside the room that eventually became the magma pool, but was originally meant to be a poison pool. The early design still exists in the files as an unused layer, containing net swarms and a shoal of chomper fish swimming in polluted water. By disabling the damage caused by the poisonous liquid, we can take a close-up look at them in their habitat. They seem to be immune to the corrosivity of the toxic water. The chomper fish could be attacked and killed, as this animation, internally called death float, seems to suggest. Just before entering the magma pool, a warning message appears on screen that says "Intense heat readings detected behind this door." This message was initially intended to be voiced. In the ISO, an unused audio file contains the associated voice line, which is still unfiltered.
Intense heat readings detected behind this door.
Mike Smith, senior artist on Metroid Prime, in an interview with ShineSparkers.net said, "At first we were making all the enemies looking just like the old Metroid 2D enemies. Nintendo later decided that they wanted the enemies to have a new look, so we scrapped off those creatures. These weren't just models that were scrapped, but these were enemies that had a full set of animations, and some even had AI programmed." This statement is supported by the fact that the internal names of some enemies match the names of similar creatures from earlier Metroid games. In the files, for instance, shriek bats are called Materies. This early name can also be seen in the prototype build. Magmurs are referred to as Magdolitis, the lava life forms from Super Metroid. Gliders are called Rippers, the flying insects that Samus could use as platforms in the old games. Within the game data, there's an unused variation of the gliders that is a 3D rendition of the classic Reaper. It has a full animation character set and can be restored in-game. It has the same functionality as the gliders, with a hook on its underside that works as a grapple point. A concept art for the Reaper is featured in the biology gallery that can be unlocked in the GameCube version and also in the trilogy for the Nintendo Wii. On page 32 of the same gallery, we can also find some unused Reaper scans.
According to Samus' logbook, the Phazon Suit is a corrupted version of the Power Suit after strong viral exposure. The viral corruption has some beneficial side effects, like an acquired resistance to blue phazon radiation and dramatically increased defensive shielding levels, providing a 50% damage reduction. In the game files there's an unused alternative version of the Phazon Suit that immediately stands out for its brighter colors, with glossy blue-green undertones and aquamarine highlights. There is also a matching Spider Morph Ball model. In the final version, right after starting a new game, the message at the beginning of the intro reads: "Unidentified distress beacon is being tracked to a derelict space vessel in orbit above Talon 4. In the prototype, the message is written in a different font and color and reads: "Orbit inclination 51.60, 226 km above the planet Talon 4.
In the prototype, inside one of the tanks in the biohazard containment room of the frigate Orpheon, there's a creature that is not present in the final game. It's called Sova, and according to the scan info, it's native of Talon 4. Sovas are recurring fire-emitting creatures in the Metroid series. In Super Metroid, for instance, they can be found in Norfair. In Metroid Prime they have a larval look and appear extinguished. This artwork from IGN gives an idea of what could have been their final form in a natural environment. These creatures were almost completely scrapped from the final version. However, some fragments of a Sova can still be found in the Chozo ruins, inside the room called Dynamo. They are placed out of bounds and don't spawn, so normally they aren't visible in-game. Among the chunks we can see its tail and some of its legs, which are internally named Debris Extended.
In the final game, flocks of birds fly in the sunset sky of the Chozo ruins. Samus can interact with them in a destructive way. When hit with a power beam, the birds dissolve into a burst of feathers and a sharp cry. However, in the game files there's an unused death animation. The bird model spirals down towards the ground, as if struck by a projectile. They likely got rid of it to avoid the technical issues of dealing with environmental collisions during the long fall. Among the game data, we can find some unused animations for Samus' face, meant to convey a wider range of emotions that was probably too difficult to discern in the form of a brief reflection on her visor. The first one shows Samus frowning in anger. This one is a sort of Mona Lisa smile, or maybe a Joker grin. Then we have a sort of smirk, like Samus is smug about something. And here Samus turns her face away and squints. Perhaps it was intended as a reaction to a strong light. The last one shows Samus widening her eyes while tilting her head back, with a surprised expression.